me, put your band around your thighs as you come down onto your back onto the mat. Okay, just want to make sure we have second half of class recording. Okay, so one of the exercises, main exercises for the 5 muscle groups was a glute bridge. So having your band around your legs, your really strong one. So I want you to be able to push into that band, but not necessarily to stretch it out. I want you to push into it isometrically and hold. So find a nice neutral cervical spine on the mat. If you need something behind your head so that your head position is neutral, please do that. Drop your shoulder blades down away from your ears and bring your feet pretty close to your glutes, about hips distance apart. Then do a little pelvic tilt. So you're going to press your low back down into the mat and tighten up your glutes, and then just release that. So we're not coming up into bridge yet. Pelvic tilt, tighten, and then release. Just one more time. Pelvic tilt, tighten, and release. Now, pelvic tilt, tighten, and lift your hips up off the floor a bit. Then come back down and release the pelvic tilt. Tilt and hold, lift and hold, lower and release the pelvic tilt. Tilt and hold, lift and hold, lower and release the pelvic tilt. Now we're going to add an outward press when we get to the top. So pelvic tilt, hold, lift your hips, hold, press out, hold, then release that outward press, lower your hips back down and release the pelvic tilt. Tilt and hold, lift and hold, press out and hold, release in, come down and relax. Come back to neutral spine each time. Pelvic tilt, lift to bridge, press the knees out, come back in, lower down, and back to neutral spine. We have 3 more. Pelvic tilt, lift, feel the glutes working, and then as you press out, you're getting the medial glute. Come back in, lower down, and back to neutral spine. 2 more. Pelvic tilt, lift, press out, coming in, lowering down, and release. Last time. Pelvic tilt, lift, press away, lower, come down, and relax. Now, using the band as an option, I'd like you to roll over onto one side. Get yourself comfortable here laying on your side. And we are going to do a holding clamshell. So I just want you to press out against that band and hold. Your feet are together. So you're working the medial glute. Press the leg that's on the floor downward. So I want you to really push that leg down into the earth as you're pressing up with the other leg. And hold. Let's try to hold this another 15 seconds. Good job. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax that clamshell. Let your shoulder drop back toward the floor and come into a relaxed twist. So if your knees are not stacking, that's okay. If they're slightly off the floor, no worries. I just want you to hold this twist. You can choose any arm position, maybe a goalpost arms. If you'd like to add your cervical spine, then you turn your head the opposite way your knees are facing. And breathe. Okay, let's do all that to the other side. So bring your knees back up. roll over to the other side. Open that top knee out into a stationary clamshell. So we're isometrically tightening the outside of the hip. We're pressing down into the earth with the bottom leg. So feel the difference when you activate the other hip as well. You're pushing bottom leg down, top leg up. Your feet stay tight together. 15 seconds. Do what you can. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax down. Let this top shoulder roll back any amount. Now make sure you're kind and gentle on this shoulder. So I prefer not to have you open your arm and just let it hang out to the side, because that's not comfortable for that shoulder joint. So protect the shoulder, put it in a comfortable position, maybe turn the head the opposite direction. And then let's take some nice deep breaths in and out. It's nice to do a cleansing breath here, which is a deep breath in through the nose and then a forceful exhale through the mouth. One more deep breath. And then roll back to your back. You can keep the strap around your legs. We're going to bring our knees up to tabletop. Now, an option for this next exercise is to leave your feet on the ground and do a windshield wiper slowly from side to side. So if you're feeling any pain in your lower back, I want your feet to come down. Otherwise, your knees are up into table. We're bracing our elbows on the floor. We're just going to tip the legs over to one side. You're pressing out into the band a little, and then come up through the middle and slightly drop your knees to the other side. We want to keep our both shoulder blades on the floor. One of your hips will rise up off the mat. That's absolutely fine. And this gets the obliques. So nice oblique rotation. I like to place the exhalation when the knees are to the side. Then inhale to bring them back up. But any breath pattern works for this. It just helps me to brace my core a little bit more when I'm exhaling as the knees are dropping. Good job. One more each direction. Apply a little pressure out into the band if you're using it. Come back to the center, and then we'll slip the band off the thighs. Coming back into glute bridges, we'll do a marching bridge. So for this one, bring your feet really close together, not touching, but pretty close. Take your pelvic tilt and lift up into a baby bridge. Now we're going to try not to use our arms into the mat too much. They can be there on the floor, but try not to push down a bunch and support yourself. And then we'll march the feet up and down, up and down. So essentially we're transferring the work from one leg to the other at any rate that feels comfortable for you. Our goal is to keep the hips from rotating as we switch from one foot to the other. And try not to let your hips drop down. Keep them elevated up. Let's do 4 more on each leg. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4. Now just hold your bridge. Nice neutral position from the frontal hip bone right out through the kneecaps and through the center of the foot. And then slowly descend from your bridge. Take one knee at a time up to the chest and rock a little bit side to side, releasing the lower back. Great job. Now, a single leg bridge. If it doesn't feel comfortable, do both legs at the same time. So we're going to bring one knee up to tabletop and just lift up into bridge using a single leg and lower down. And lift and lower. And both legs is fine with this. Go nice and slow because there are occasions where doing this can cause your hamstring to want to cramp up a little bit. So go nice and slow. If that does happen, stretch it out. Looking for about 10 reps. I've got 4 to go. 3, 2, and 1. Now I want to immediately stretch that leg we just worked. So we're going to bring the knee to the chest and then begin to unfold the leg any amount to stretch the hamstring and the glute. And those hip bridges do also get the hamstrings really well. Great hamstring exercise. If you've got your yoga strap, or you can even use your little band here, you can use that as a tool to help us stretch. And then we can take the opposite leg, lengthen it down onto the mat. And just close your eyes for a few breaths here. Just try to really relax. And let's have that be our purpose here with this stretch, is to find relaxation and release in these muscles. Now I'd like to bring this across into the medial glute and the IT band. So if you're holding onto a strap, hold it with the opposite hand and then let that leg come across the midline of your body a little bit and rotate your foot inward. So now we're getting the IT band as well as the hamstring, the tensor fascia lata, which is a muscle that attaches to the IT band, and the outside of our lower leg in the peroneus longus. Good. Take the time that you need here. Beautiful. Okay, bring that back to center. Now, if you'd like to, you can also elongate that leg out the opposite direction for a little bit of inner thigh. Still along with the hamstring. Let's stay here. Just a brief little stretch. And then back to the midline. And we'll release that. Coming back to your bridge position with your feet close together. The leg you were just stretching now will come up into tabletop. And we'll do 10 single leg hip bridges, lifting up and down. And it really doesn't matter how high you lift. It's not about range of motion as much as it is firing the muscle, activating the glute and the hamstring. Exhale on the lift. Try to keep the hips even. I have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. We'll come into our stretch right away on that side, hugging the knee into the chest, and then slowly unfolding the leg up I'm going to use my little rubber band again here as my yoga strap. Works really well. And then our bottom leg can extend out long to release the hip flexor. And let's close our eyes and breathe. Our purpose is to scan our body from head to toe to try to find any areas where we're tensing up or gripping, and we just let that go. Deep breaths. And then we move this into the IT band by placing the hand, opposite hand, and bringing the leg just a little bit across the midline. It's not about being a twist. It's about just bringing the leg bone across and then turn your foot inward just a little bit. A lot of sensations in this particular stretch. And remember, if you feel any shaking in your muscles as you're stretching, that's a sign to back off a little bit on the stretch, to reset, and to come in with a little bit less of an edge. Beautiful. Let's come back to the midline. And then our option is to do a little bit of a counter stretch by opening that leg out to the side. And try to keep your other hip on the ground. So we can go further with that leg if we let our hip lift up off the floor, but try to keep it down and just take it out till you feel a nice gentle stretch there. And we'll come back to the midline, releasing the band or the yoga strap. Let's roll to our side and press yourself up to a seated position. Now you might need a yoga block or a blanket to sit on as we come to a comfortable seat. And just check in. And let's mentally visit the muscle groups that we're focusing on for our yoga with purpose today. So our transverse abdominis, just place your hands on your belly, and we'll inhale and let the belly expand outward. Exhale and contract the belly in. 2 more breaths. And then just release the hands to the knees. Focus on your spinal extensors, looking for good posture. So we're trying not to slump and round, but we pull up, lifting. The shoulder blades come down and back. And let's look over the right shoulder. And then looking over the left. Coming back to the midline. And just focus, without moving the body, on the muscles of the lower legs, just to relax through the calves, the quads, and the glutes. Those muscles do a lot of work for us every single day, so they also need moments where they rest and restore. And let's finish with an inhale, sweeping the arms out and up. Draw the palms together. Pull the thumbs into heart center for our Anjali Mudra, where we pause for just a moment to honor our hard work today. to honor our spirit, mind, and body, and the LisaBug community. And the light and love that reside within my heart honor the light and love in the hearts of each of you. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you can stay for a couple of minutes for a little chat. Sorry about the technical difficulties, but I'll get both of these recorded up into 2 different files, so they'll be there and available for everybody. Okay, be right back.